The audience. So I will say something now about Chief Justice Roberts. Because last June, the Supreme Court unanimously backed a decision by Chief Justice Roberts, which was the cell phone case. And it goes back to the founders, and he traced it back. And what Roberts said is, okay, the case involves someone's arrested, and they have their cell phone there, and it falls out on the seat. The police get that smartphone, okay, and they can crack his password, get the data, and the court ruled you can't. That is a violation of the Fourth Amendment. And what was so important about that decision, okay, as the court unanimously held, now unfortunately they have not yet applied it to the NSA, so I'm not going to say they're the second coming, Justice Roberts, but it was very clear here, they said, a couple of things that are really important. They said, first of all, the fact that this is a new technology does not make the Fourth Amendment irrelevant. In fact, it means you have to have a more robust view of the Fourth Amendment and all of the constitutional protections. He said, because there is more data on that phone than there ever was in someone's home. And so if we are going to have the idea of the sovereignty of the individual, the sanctity of the individual, which is enshrined in our Constitution, the Fourth Amendment, that protection has to go with you in a car, has to go with you with that cell phone. Technology does not trump the protection. Technology expands the protection. Now, we will constantly hear this argument, oh, in the modern world we can't, blah, blah, blah. And the court said unanimously, nonsense. It puts a greater pressure, greater responsibility. You cannot use that data. Why? This goes back, as Robert said, this goes back to the reason, the spark of the American Revolution, which is why we have the Fourth Amendment. And it has to do with the general warrants of the king. Right? Now, the protection of your papers, your ideas, your life, goes back to the Magna Carta. It is entrenched in English, common law. And what happened was, in that law, the principle was very clear. The king, even with divine right, cannot enter the home of the humblest peasant and rummage about in his affairs to then make a case against him. That's a general warrant, an illegal search and seizure. Even the agent of the king cannot do that. They have to have specific warrant, specific reason, back it up in some kind of a court situation, and we are entering that house because we know he has a butcher knife that he used to kill somebody, and we're going to find the butcher knife. But you cannot go in there and just look around and everything. See? That was the principle. And as Justice Roberts points out in the trial of Otis in Massachusetts, the principle was that the agents of the king had gone into his house and violated his privacy. And John Adams was there in the court that day, and he wrote that with that decision, the American Revolution, that was the spark that started the American Revolution. Whether they were looking for tax revenue, whatever the king claimed to be doing, they were violating what the people in the colonies thought was their right as subjects. And that became the trigger. Okay? That's why you have the Boston Tea Parties, we have all those. So this Fourth Amendment is not just some little ornament on our Constitution, it's basic to it. You need a place to stand. You need a place where you can think, have thoughts others might think are weird or dangerous or subversive. Exchange these thoughts with your friends and neighbors. You have to have sovereignty, some protected zone. If not, you're constantly observed, you're constantly manipulated, and you're going to be intimidated, and self-censorship becomes the norm. That is the message of both 1984 and Brave New World. Okay? And it was foreseen in our Constitution that you have to respect the sovereignty of the individual. Unfortunately, our court, liberals and conservatives, agree on that principle. Now, if we can only get them to apply it broadly, and there are decisions making their way, that could be good. But this is not some alien argument. It's an argument basic to the whole American experience.